Hello. Good evening, and thank you all for the opportunity to speak with you tonight. My name's Dave, and I've lived in Surrey all my life, a supposedly wealthy part of the country. I first rented privately in 2009 after a marriage breakdown because I had no other option. Now I live in Woking, rent in Woking, yes, that Woking, with my 17-year-old son who goes to the local college and hopes to go away to university next summer. I have disabilities that emerged around 10 years ago and have proved a barrier to employment, and as a result my housing options ever since. My disabilities are invisible in that I can manage them enough for it not to be immediately apparent. Last June I was served my second Section 21 notice in 4 years. I still don't know why. Between then and my court eviction date of the 29th of January this year was one of the most stressful, infuriating, vulnerable feeling and humiliating periods of my life. The mental health effects on both my son and me can't be overstated. I check the popular renting websites every day, trying to find a new rental. Oh great, they've got 80 properties in Woking, I'll just filter to the local housing allowance. Oh, zero results. Day after day, and it's exhausting. Very occasionally a rarity would pop up, but I was brushed off by the landlord as soon as it became clear that I was a benefit claimant. Some are more blatant than others, but it's the same end result. Going direct to letting agents is no better. As soon as it became clear that I received benefits, the interest in me as a tenant visibly drained from their faces, and I was brushed aside and entirely forgotten about. I haven't heard from any of them over the past 15 months or so, despite never deregistering with them. As far as they know, I could still be homeless. Do you know what phrase I heard daily, and sometimes multiple times a day? The landlord would prefer a professional couple. Excuse me? Do only professional couples have the right to rent your overpriced shoebox then? Do only professional couples have a right to a home? They always wanted a guarantor and 6 or 12 months of rent in advance, as well as the 5 weeks rent as deposit, which made it impossible to find anything secure. Oh, and by the way, a 12-month tenancy is not secure, given it can take 6 months or longer to find new accommodation when a landlord Section 21's you. They asked personal and intrusive questions about the circumstances of my disabilities, my income, and what I did for work. The local council had already completed a detailed affordability check. Why is this not enough? What business are these personal matters to the landlord? None of them would accept a council bond of £2,500 for a requested deposit of approximately £1,500, rendering council bonds useless. In reality, a council bond is just a sign saying, I'm on benefits, and then the usual barriers are put in place. 2 weeks before the date of repossession, this January, we got lucky and found a rare, really good landlord who empathised enough with us to give us a chance. Now, just the fact that it's considered taking a chance on us is quite telling in itself, I think. We moved into the new property bang on the eviction date of the 29th of January. It could not have been cut any finer. My then 16-year-old son, who had just started college, and I were facing the imminent probability of being shunted off to emergency accommodation, probably a bed and breakfast, who knows where, for who knows how long. I had to borrow £2,500 for the deposit and first month's rent in advance, so I'm now in debt, which I'm struggling to pay back. All because of an eviction that was no fault of ours, and the council is unequipped to deal with thanks to savage cuts over a sustained period of time. Being told you're not worthy of a roof over your and your family's heads every day does funny things to your mental health. The feeling of unworthiness perpetuated by landlords and their agents radiates out to every area of your life, which further impacts mental health. it can easily become a